boiling point.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about the rippaverse because there's been some really interesting news dropped. Okay, so we all knew Gabe Al-Taib and Cliff Richards were helping Eric July out with isom number 1 and isom number 2, right? Well, they're already, pretty notable names in the comic book world. I mean, Gabe Al-Taib has like a list of accomplishments, and I believe Cliff Richards does too. His name isn't really one that sticks out, but the two that I'm fixing to say stick out a lot. Like, okay, so Alpha Corps, they're a group of police superheroes in the Rippaverse. Trying to explain them, it kind of reminds me of like a superhero police force. They're pretty cool characters so far from what I've gathered. But Chuck Dixon is gonna be the writer of Alpha Corps, and Chuck Dixon has, oh my god, like a catalog of awesome stories. He's best known for his work on The Punisher and a whole lot of Batman titles. And he is a veteran comic book writer. This guy, Chuck Dixon, is pretty top notch, and he's teamed up with Eric July for Alpha Corps. Eric July is bringing his A game when it comes to this comic book universe, and I honestly can't wait to see what it's going to be like. The artist is still unclear. Like but a vet of this caliber, I have no reservations about this new universe he's building. I am on the train for isom number 2. I'm going to hopefully be able to get Alpha Corps number 1, and I'm digging this. Like, I'm down with what he's laying. I'm picking up what Eric July's laying down. Like, this Rippaverse is top notch stuff. If you haven't seen my review of isom number 1, I did it quite a while ago. It's on this channel too. But I don't know, man. Like, he's not letting me down. He's getting quality people to do these books, and honestly, I would have been down if it was just Eric writing all of them. But he's getting class act talents to write these stories, and because the next people I'm fixing to talk about, I hadn't really heard much about until I started digging and realized what all they had done, and I'm actually a fan of their work, and I didn't even realize it. The Sissoko sisters, they have been making waves in all kinds of different media. They've done film, they've done comic books. They're all over the place. They did a movie called Rabid, which I think I've seen. No, like not seen, but like I think I know of it. Hold on, let me bring it up. Well, I had it brought up. I don't know what happened to everything. Oh well, that is my life. There we go. But their like filmography is pretty top notch for just breaking into the scene. American Mary was apparently one that they did like all to themselves, and I've heard of that one. Rabid was like everyone I know of that's seen it said it's awesome. Dead Hooker in a Trunk, I know, funny name, but supposedly it's a top notch movie. Like the fan reviews are pretty good. And they did 2 movies with WWE Studios. See No Evil 2 apparently was like pretty much their movie. They wrote and directed it, I believe. And Vendetta, I don't know. Like it was. Let me see. Vendetta was an action drama. Like, so these girls like know what they're doing, and it stars Dean Cain. That's an immediate, I have to see this, because I mean Dean Cain is an awesome actor. I don't care what anyone says. But they also did a pretty notable run in Black Widow. I think they've done some DC work as well, but they've been signed to do at least Yaira #1, which I'm pretty sure if they do good, then they'll, pretty much own the series for a little while. And everything I've seen of theirs so far is gotten great reviews, not critic reviews, because no one gives a shit about what critics think, but like the audience reviews are all pretty good. So I mean, they're making waves in the horror movie genre, the action movie genre. They're doing pretty great when it comes to like writing comic books, apparently. So I mean, Eric July, I mean, like I have no doubt that the Rippaverse is gonna continue to make waves and continue to drag in millions and millions of dollars, because I mean, hell, just isom #1 brought $3 million. I mean, actually more than that, because there was I think it was like $3.5 million. I mean, it might have hit 4. I can't remember exactly, but I mean, seriously, if you've questioned getting into the Rippaverse, don't. Just do it. I mean, I mean, isom #1 turned out to be a really good read, and like I said in my initial review, it wasn't like groundbreaking, but I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty damn good. I mean, I love Eric July. I love his music. So but I'm also not gonna sit here and like simp for him either. I mean, like he wrote a pretty solid comic book story. I mean, he is a writer, because I mean, you write music is one of the hardest things to write. He writes awesome music. If you haven't ever heard of him, go check it out. It's Backwards. It's his band, and I mean, he had me hooked from like the first song I heard. So I mean, well, like I said, just because I'm a fan, don't mean I'm gonna sit here and like kowtow. And I mean, if he has a slip up, I'm gonna say it, because you have to have whenever you're getting a review, you have to be like, hey, that was a mistake. Don't do that. You have to have those people. But and I voiced my grievances during my review. I mean, I didn't just sit and talk about how amazing it was, but I mean, the art's amazing. The story is at least solid, and it left me wanting more. And that's where you have to. That's what you have to be, especially with the characters that they're doing now, like the Alpha Core and the Yaira character. They were pretty cool. I mean, like I said, whenever how they met was kind of like, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it was at least enough for me to go, I wonder what they're going to do with those people next. But for now, that's all I got. I am super excited to see what the Soka sisters and oh no, why does the name escape me whenever I'm Chuck Dixon. I can't wait to see what Chuck Dixon and the Soka sisters do with the Rippaverse. They look like pretty good additions to the team, and I can't wait to see who's going to do the art for Alpha Core. And I don't know if the Soka sisters are going to do the art for Yaira, or if they're going to have another artist and they're just writing it. I'll keep you updated, and hopefully you guys are as excited as I am to see where this Rippaverse thing is going, because I mean, it's looking pretty good so far. I mean, their resumes alone are speaking volumes. He's not just getting unknowns or trash writers. Like, he's getting decent, good people on his team, and that is speaking volumes. So, Eric, keep it up. If you ever see this, I'm a fan. Thanks. You've shown people that they don't have to bend the knee to get in the cool kids club, so to speak, and I'm loving it. Peace. And if you like what you just heard, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and throw some money at my Cash App, because it's the only way this is ever going to get any better. Oh, and be sure to check out Destroy Agenda. She makes pretty awesome clothes. She is all over TikTok, Instagram. I think she's got a lot of other social medias. I am really tired. See you next time.
We could fix a lot of issues with the American political system if we just let Congress people beat the piss out of each other like they used to in the 1800s. Because then when you're voting, you have to balance that candidate's beliefs with their ability to physically defend those beliefs. It would fix the gridlock issue. You got one or two senators who are holding up a bill. Just jump them on the Senate floor. They'll flip their vote. Oil money is only going to pay off so many broken ribs. Old age issue, too. You got these 80-year-old senators who have been in Congress for 40 years. I think you'd think twice about voting for Mitch McConnell again if you knew there was a 30-something-year-old John Ossoff ready to put him through a table. Term limits would go way down, too, People don't be running one or two times. Guys, I can't run again. I have 8 concussions. So we'd see a lot of new, fresh faces on Capitol Hill.
Put the shit on pay-per-view.
It's just something to think about. I think it'd be good for this country.